EPPING. My name is Robert Ozzimo and I proudly represent the company of Harcourts, Rata & Co. I'm joined here today by my award-winning team in blue. Should you require their advice, please feel free to approach either Sebastian, Rose, Cheryl, Valley, Maria and of course Daniel Taylor, who no doubt you've met throughout the marketing campaign. Buyers, let me share with you now the following announcements which are in place to help you bid and buy with absolute confidence here today. The auction will be conducted in accordance with the rules and any additional conditions that are made available for inspection before the start of the auction. The auction rules prohibit an auctioneer from accepting bids or offers for a property after the property has been knocked down to the successful bidder. The vendors have a reserve price as the auctioneer will indicate bidders on request. The law prohibits false bids, prohibits major disruptions by bidders and prohibits bidders attempting to prevent others from bidding and provides for fines for such conduct. The rules permits for vendor bids. The words I'll use during the auction to indicate that I'm making a bid on behalf of the vendor are vendor bid, and by law only I, as the auctioneer, can make a vendor bid. Now the contract of sale has been on display prior to today's auction. We call for 10% deposit upon the fall of the hammer and the signing of that contract to take place here today with the balance to be paid at settlement in 60 days time, at which time the vendor will provide the lucky buyer with vacant possession of the property. All in all, it's quite a straightforward document. Everything's in there, everything's quite clear. Buyers, is with my highest recommendation what we offer for your consideration and competition here today at 70 Maserati. You only need to look up and down Maserati Drive to see what a special location we find ourselves in. Parkland across the road, parkland up the street, easy access to transport, easy access to shopping, easy access to schooling, everything at your fingertips here today. Add to that a townhome of massive proportions, that nice open living area downstairs serviced by three bedrooms and 2 bathrooms upstairs, and of course access from the rear, taking full advantage of the block we're situated on here today. So whether you're a first-time buyer, investor, or you and your family would like to get the sold sticker up on the board, right now, buyers, is your time to reserve that right. Where can I see a fair and reasonable starting bid for 70 Maserati? Who'd like to start us off, buyers? I don't mind the call. This is your moment. This is your time. If you're here to buy, we're certainly here to sell. Where can I see a start? Perhaps some shy bidders among us here today. It's always at 600,000, fairly been offered now at 600,000, even money now at 6. At 600 the bid. At 600,000, fairly been offered at 600,000, the bid's there now at 6. At 600,000, if you've come to buy, there's your competition. The opportunity is still with you though. At 600,000, at 610,000, why not? I was hoping for 20, sir, but I'll entertain the 10. I'll welcome you and best of luck here today. At 610,000 against your bid, sir, at 10. At 610,000, same courtesy at 10 if you like. At 610,000 of the bids there. At 610,000. At 610, at 20 now, $620,000 the bid. At 620,000, bid back there at 20, 30 if you like. At 620,000, your 10 still good with me if you got it at 620 now. At 620,000, fairly been offered now. 620 the bid. First call at 620,000. Are we all done? 30. At 30 now, and welcome back at 30. At 630,000 and 40, it's got to be. At 30 I have. At 630,000 and the bid's there at 30. At 630 the bid. At 630,000, 40 if you like, sir. At 630,000 once. At 630 all done. At 630,000, second call. I'm taking 10, sir. It's got to be 10 in the aggregate. 640. At 640 now. At 640, welcome. Best of luck at 40 now. At 640,000, bids there. Cross the road at 40. 50 the call. At 640,000, fresh bidding here in the centre. At 640,000, bid there. Opportunity on either side at 40 now. At 650,000, welcome. At 650 now. At 606, at 655 for short of my stride, get you back involved in the same courtesy at 5 if you like. At 55 there and 60 the call. At 655. At 655,000, fairly been offered. Nice easy bidding at 5 if you like. At 655 the bid. At 655,000 once. At 60, welcome back, sir. At 660,000, at 65, the quick retort at 665. At 665,000, bid back there at 65. My got to be 70 now. At 665,000. At 665,000, fairly been offered now. 665 the bid. First call at 665,000, all done. At 70, at 670,000 and 75. At 675 now. At 675,000, 80, where's it going to be? At 675,000, 6 3/4 of the bid's there. 675. At 675,000, 80 now, 680. At 680,000, 85 if you like, at 680 in the bid's here, 680,000. At $680,000 the bid now. Once at 680,000, all done. Twice at 680. done and finished. At 81, I'll shorten my stride at 81. Why not at 681? The best response to a small bid is always a big bid. At 681,000 and the bid's there against you at 681. At $681,000 the bid now. At 681 the bid. Are we done over here at 681,000? At 681 the bid's there. Opportunity with you now. At 681,000 bid there at 681. Once at 681,000 all done. Twice. At 85, and that's a better bid at 685. At 686 and 90 if you like, at 686,000. At 686,000, fairly been offered now at 686. At 686,000, bid there. Opportunity here. Haven't heard from you in a while, sir. At 686, you're definitely done. At 686,000, can I confirm that at 686? At 686,000 now, fairly been offered. At 686, the bid. At 686,000, bid there in the centre. 86 now once. At 686,000, all done. At 686,000 twice. At 686, done. Finished. At $686,000 a bid for the third and final call at $686,000. All done. All finished, all silent and out at 686,000. Sir, ma'am, you've been so strong at 686,000. How about take me to 90, one last roll of the dice, put some pressure on the competition at 686,000. Put yourself in the box seat here today at 686,000. The bid's there. The opportunity, exclusive opportunity is there at 686,000. If you've come to buy, now is the time to dig deep. Now is the time to be decisive. At 686, the bid's there. Definitely done. Thank you. That was my best sales pitch. At 686,000. At 686, the bid. At 686,000. So we're definitely done over here. Thank you very much for your bidding here today. At 686,000 once, twice, third, final call, 686 the bid, all done, finished, silent and out. So can I confirm that bid at 686,000? Bear with me one moment. I do need to seek some instructions and I'll be back momentarily. Thank you. James, is it by here? How are you guys? Just confirming you're at 690?
Yes,
All
finish
right.
it off.
Yeah, we've been able to get it on the market, and we'll call it now. Good luck. Well, boys, thank you for your patience. Can I confirm, sir, that you have strengthened your position to 690,000? At 690,000, the bid is here, and I'm pleased to say that we are on the market. We do sell here today, so if you have indeed come to buy, you must bid me now or forever hold your peace, because there's no second chances. We are playing for keeps at 690,000. The bid's there, the keys are there. We sell at 690,000 now. For the first call at 690. Are we all done? Second call at 690,000. Are we done? Finished? At 691. At 690. What is that? 92, sir? At 692 now, 692,000. At 692, the quick retort there at 692. Might be your last opportunity at 692,000. At 690, sorry buddy. At 692,000, bid there, keys there. At 692, the bid. At 692,000, fairly been off if you've come to buy. Show me now. At 692,000, first call at 692. All done. Second call at 692,000. Done and finished. Third and final call at 692, the bid. Done. Finished, silent at 695. At 96 now, 696. At 696,000, we're definitely done here. Yeah. Thank you once more. 696, had to ask. At 696,000, bids there, keys are there. Last chance, sir, ma'am. At 696,000, we're on the market and selling. At 696, the bid. First call at 696, done.
500.
At 696 and a half. At 696,500 now. At 696 and a half at 97 now. Feels like I'm going in circles at 97. At 697,000. At 697,000 might be the first of 700. At 697,000 fairly been offered. Once at 697 done. Twice at 697,000 done and finished. Third at 97 and a half. Take me to 7, sir. At 97 and a half and the bid's here. At 697,500 and a half an hour at 98. At 698,000. At 698,000, bid fairly been offered over here. We're on the market. We sell at 698 the bid. First call at 600 and 98, 99 and 700 beckons now at 99 and 7. The quick retort at 7 even money at 700,000. At 700,000 is just a round number. Shouldn't scare you off. It's only one more than 699. At 700,000 fairly been offered now, and we sell away here today at $700,000 the bid. Once. At $700,000 the bid. Twice. Third, final call at $700,000. All done, finished, silent out at 7. So, ma'am, if you tell me you're out, I'll sell. Do I have your absolute best here today? Do I have your absolute best here today? Definitely done? Thank you very much for your spirit of bidding here today. At 700,000, bids there, keys are there, we sell away. Once, twice, third, final call. We are selling.
500.
At 700 and a half. At 700 and a half now. At 700,500. Had him on the rope, sir. 700 and a half now. At 702 now. At 702,000 now. Fairly been offered. At 702 the bid. At 702,000 definitely done. Thank you very much for being here today. At 702,000 bids there, keys are there. We sell out over here, out over there. Once, twice, third. Final call at 702. Done, finished, silent and out. We are selling. Selling, selling. So, congratulations and well bid. Please join me congratulating our purchasers and our vendors here today. You've just witnessed another successful Harcourts Rata & Co auction. Have a great weekend. We'll see you again soon. Thank you. Congratulations, mate.